What I did without choice, but not in the power of the Doctor. That was a terrible way to start the podcast. I'm so sorry.
Where you were going with that?
Yeah, no, so was I. I was like, can I recite the whole quote? No, I can't. Today we're talking about not the name of the Doctor,
But the power of the Doctor.
not the day of the Doctor. We got to amp this up. Suspense,
Right,
suspense.
sorry, not the night of the Doctor.
Yeah, or the day of the Doctor, or the time, or the destiny,
Or the two Doctors.
or all the Doctors. The next
The
Doctor,
three Doctors.
the power of the Doctor. That's what we're doing today, folks.
Yeah, boy, the centenary special.
It's a big one, a big 90-minute episode for us to dissect.
Flux the movie, as I call it.
And it kind of feels like that because it's such like an erratic episode.
Yeah, it has that Flux energy for sure.
It's back.
So yeah,
It's
for sure. Yeah,
back.
this is. I think we were both very excited to go rewatch this.
Definitely. Have you rewatched it much?
I think it's been a while. I got two Russell RTD2 pilled, you know. I haven't gone back and watched this for a while. I think I planned to rewatch it before the 60th and never got around to doing it.
Hectic.
So I think I've seen it maybe. I'm ashamed to say I think this is my third viewing.
I reckon that was maybe my fifth at least.
You've had heaps. I know.
Yeah, that was like the fifth or sixth, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm ashamed to say that because I've always had such a high regard. I think because it's such a long episode.
Yeah.
It's not one you can just really like chuck on.
Yeah.
And it's a regen story as well. So it's like, you know, it's a bit different than just chucking on an
Time
episode.
and place kind of
So
situation.
time and place, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this was my third, maybe fourth time watching it. So,
Hectic.
but I think third. Yeah. Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, baby.
Well, I have a... I could talk about this because it's not been... The bid will be over by the time this comes out.
Oh, okay, another bid in War Aidens.
I know, this is getting ridiculous.
Himself onto.
I'm literally like saving up for it. I met with a fucking mortgage broker the other day and we're like, fuck, we can't spend any money. And then I'm there like...
on eBay.
I
love it.
The series 6 and 7 steelbooks.
Okay.
You know I need them.
Yeah, well, you know.
I've got 5 and they were cheap because they're like standard price, but then they're being sold by someone over East. So the shipping isn't $50, it's $10.
That's great.
So I will know by now whether or not I got them.
All right, another bid in war that Aiden's advancing on. So what's the deal? What's the deal here? Where does this? When does this end? What's your final plan? I don't know.
Don't have one.
So you have 5.
Well, this is my problem now.
Right.
So I started from the 50th specials onwards in steelbook form.
Right.
I got a Series 9 steelbook custom made to replace the because you can't get it unless you want to pay $3 billion. And then so I was happy with that for a while, and then I was like, it's kind of a bit. I'd always liked the Series 5 steelbook. I thought it looked so beautiful.
The one with the Van Gogh.
Yeah, it looks so good. And then one day on eBay, I saw an offer I couldn't refuse, and I bid it on that. I think I mentioned it a few months ago when I did it, and I was successful in that.
Yes.
So cop that one. And now I'm here like, well, now I kind of need 6 and 7. And this is a problem. Back when we started this podcast, I remember saying like, we're Doctor Who fans, but we're not really like collectors and stuff like that. I always did say I am a collector of the Blu-rays and stuff.
Yeah.
But now this shit's getting out of hand, man. I fucking ordered a Doctor Who dolly the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
Shooty.
That's right, you did. I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with stuff like that, and I know this is a great market employ for whoever's trying to sell goods, but it's like with stuff like this, I've learned with Doctor Who especially, is that you need to get onto this shit like when it comes out, otherwise you're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
I've been saying for forever now on the show that I wish I started getting the collection sets as they came out, because now I have a gazillion to get, and they all have varied prices. And there's one like Peter Davison series that's like $800 on eBay. I don't know why. It could be similar to what you were going through with Series 9, where there was just
it's just so limited. That's season 19 you're talking about. Yeah.
Would you ever consider getting any more custom jobs?
No, I saw someone got a custom Twice Upon a Time made.
Okay.
Because that is, I think, the only special that's not been included.
That is so... I love that.
In a steelbook. I could be wrong. I think Revolution wasn't either, but you can fit Revolution into the Series 12 steelbook. So I just bought the normal copy and just put it into the 12. Yeah. And then with Twice Upon a Time, I just took out the bonus disc from Series 10 and put it in there. And
absolute boss.
The bonus disc is in my Twice Upon a Time, just in a drawer somewhere.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, that's my solution. But someone made a custom Twice Upon a Time steelbook, and I was like,
That is really cool.
that's tasty.
I've had that with the vinyls and stuff. I've been with the Murray Gold scores and stuff. Which I'm kind of curious if they might drop another one soon because it's been a while.
Yeah.
With them, it's like I'm instantly just on it because it's something that could just easily sell out again and be. I had a dream last night that I start. It's so funny you bring that up because I had a dream last night that I was on the hunt for the classic sets.
Oh, you finally jumped on it.
I think I might one day. I think I have to go for the standard editions.
Yeah. But I'll believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it.
But I do have, eventually when I have like, a very lovely like place to myself, and like I would love to have maybe not a room, but definitely a shelf dedicated to like Doctor Who, and I would love to have physical copies of all the episodes. Will that happen? Who knows? But
yeah. Well, I'm like with my Blu-ray sets, I am. Once I have 6 and 7 on Steelbook, I will be satisfied. As much as like the collections, because I have a mixture of the Aussie ones and the UK ones, they're not so different that it frustrates me. Like the completionist inside me irks because of it, but I'm not going to spend $1 billion to get them replaced with the UK versions. So I'm satisfied with that. And then the only thing that's like a little bit funky is that my series 1 to specials are just in the normal Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that new box set goes on sale, maybe I'll jump on it. But I'm more so hanging out.
1080 remaster?
Yeah, well, I've already got they remastered it.
Yeah, the remaster of the remaster. So strange.
So I'm like holding out for the possibility of either that going on sale or in like 5 years' time they do a remaster.
Yeah.
And it's with a better soundtrack, better like sound mixing.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I can wait for that one. I'm happy with what I've got there.
Have you got the Series 1 2024 on Steelbook?
I do.
Okay, so everything from now Series 5.
If I get these 6 and 7.
Hopefully. Yeah. Everything from Series 5 is on Steelbook.
Yeah. But cool. Here's what will happen. Is 1 minute before the bid ends, some fucker will put a bid on and will beat me.
It's funny because like everyone must be waiting for that last.
Yeah, exactly. They're just waiting because no one wants to put the price up unnecessarily. With my Series 5 Steelbook, I was so new to bidding that it was like on sale for $100, right? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'll put a bid that no one can refuse. I'll up it to like $130, which is just ridiculous. Why did I do that? Put it up to like with these ones, I put it up by $1. The bid was $100. I put it to 101.
Well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? Because like the person who's selling it they can put on like a price, or they can put it on a bid. Because I guess the idea with the bid is something like that is that people do get nervous last minute, and overestimate how much someone has like put down.
And there's like that part where you're almost committed, because when I put that bid on, I was like, I'm not that fussed. I was like, I want them and it's cheap, so I'll do it. But I was like, if someone outbids me, I'm not going to try and rival them. But I've been sat on this bid in first place for like 4 days, and tomorrow it's up. And I feel like if someone tries to outbid me tomorrow, I'm going to be like, I've gone this far. I can't be dethroned now. I'd be scum.
I'm actually interested to hear if you get it.
So am I.
You've had some success in the past with the bids. And that's...
I'm a gambler.
I'm addicted. I used to do it with Lego sets when I was a kid. With like old Star Wars.
Yeah, always. Because the minifigures, when we grew up, the fucking Star Wars minifigures, the good ones, were so hard to get.
That is so true.
But now they're everywhere. Like I walk into Kmart, I'm like, I wanted that when I was a kid. I wanted that when I was a kid.
I cannot tell you how accurate that is because I had it during Christmas. I went to the shops and I always like stick my head in the Lego aisle. I hope
it's cool.
I hope people around me don't get a little concerned. But yeah, I always go in there, and all I ever wanted as a kid was Boba Fett.
Oh, and
that's all I ever wanted.
His ships everywhere,
and I wanted the Sarlacc pit as well. That's what I wanted so fucking badly. I could never get it, and it was there in Kmart. I was like, if I could just have had that, and now I don't really care, which is like, oh my god, I've grown up.
I know.
But I'm like,
I really wanted an Ewok village.
That's
and
so
now
good.
like they've made so many like mini ones,
Oh
which
my
are
God.
great and awesome. But also now they've made like the big fucker like $750 one with
Yeah.
like 4 trees and they're all connected and shit. And like if I was a kid, 100% would have found a way to cop that.
Yeah, you get like Jabba's palace now, and
Shit
like,
like
his
that.
moving ship. And
I remember when we were a
stuff,
kid, it was so hard just to get a Lego Yoda that wasn't Clone Wars Yoda
That is true.
or prequel Yoda or
They
something.
there were really hard figures to get, and I get, you know what? If I actually do have money to just spend one day, I have always wanted to get a Lego Death Star.
Yeah,
That shit looks so cool.
they do look cool.
Like it's
and a good Falcon as well.
Oh my God, that would be awesome
They're
as
really
well.
cool.
I feel like the older I get, I might invest back into Lego. I think with the Death Star, you can like close it and open it because you can
Yeah,
open it
there's
and it has all
something
the
like that.
different like.
I think there's a few different ones. Like every
so
5 years
cool.
they make a new one and it's a bit different.
I remember like seeing that as like a kid in Kmart, and it was like $1,000, and I was
crazy.
just like, could you imagine if I got that?
One of my friends, I was like 18, 19, and I went into his sort of like home theater.
Yeah,
And there's like a bunch of shelves on the back, and it had all of his dad's Lego Star Wars sets.
Yeah.
And he had like all those big ones. They're like $1,000, like the what are they called, Star Destroyer? Is that the
the
long
big
pointy
that
ones?
was
He had all of those huge vehicles. They were so cool.
Yeah, I know people who used to like they would like glue them as they go along, like super glue them together. So they'd be like frozen into shape. Oh,
Crazy. Well, we got one little Lego Doctor Who set that sat behind Connor, and that's
yeah.
what we got to put up with for now.
I hear when it comes to like getting other stuff like licensed by Lego, you have to get like a big campaign like
Right.
through it, and you know.
I don't know. But hey, maybe we
yeah.
have some more Legos Doctor Who in the future. My name's Aiden. This is Connor.
My name is
Follow
Connor.
us
Hello.
on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor, on TikTok at 50Doctor Who. Subscribe if you haven't already. Do all the fun stuff, and we'll see you on the other side of this intro.
Hit it.
I hit it a little bit too early, actually.
50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50%, cat.
And we're back.
Woohoo!
We're back. Amazing.
How you going, folks?
That was a bit of an off-topic chat, but I guess it's time we get a little bit on topic and talk about
The Power of the Doctor, the 100th anniversary of the BBC, and also
Yeah.
the Regeneration episode of the one, the only Jodie Whittaker.
the centenary special, shall we say.
Yep.
The Power of the Doctor. It's the third and final story of 3 special episodes that follow the 13th series of the British science fiction television program. You guessed it,
Doctor Who.
The episode was written by Chris Chibnall and directed by the GOAT,
Yeah,
Jamie Magnus
Jamie Magnus
Stone.
Stone.
It was first broadcast on BBC One on the 23rd of October, 2022. The special was commissioned to air during the BBC's centenary celebrations. Jodie Whittaker makes her final appearance. Mandip Gill and John Bishop make their final appearances. Janet Fielding and Sophie Aldred return as Tegan and Ace, along with a whole bunch of new faces and old.
I feel like a lot of people make their final appearance.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say a whole bunch of old faces, not new faces. Because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of new faces. Because we've also got the Master in this with Sasha.
Yeah.
We've got Bradley Walsh comes back as Graham.
Ashid comes back.
Ashid comes back. Kate's
Vinda
there.
comes back.
Vinda's there.
Yeah.
And then obviously
tons
like
of people
all the
come back.
classic Doctors except Tom are there.
Yeah.
It's
Because he's going to be in the 60th.
yeah, that's what I said. eh?
That's like what everyone said.
But
So
no,
funny.
apparently, do you know the story behind that?
No?
Apparently, he said he didn't want to come back because when he shot for the 50th, he felt like no one really appreciated him when he was on set other than Matt Smith. He said Matt Smith was the only one that gave him time.
What?
Yeah.
For a legendary, not even just doctor,
Doggin.
but actor,
Doggin.
they weren't very nice to me, so I
Yeah.
didn't want to come back.
I know. It's a bit
Shit.
sad.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the entire crew's probably changed, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
exactly, yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so there's a lot of characters, a lot of people back. Joe Martin's there.
Oh yeah, Joe Martin's in it.
We'll talk about this later, but Ian's there.
Yes,
Mel's there.
correct.
The whole fucking gang. Nick Briggs is doing voices
That's a given.
like normal in every episode ever. And of course, we get the first appearance of the 14th Doctor,
Oh, God.
played by David Tennant.
Who's he?
All right, mate. Back in 2022, you gave this one a 7.5 and I gave it a
No.
7. He did.
No,
What? What did you think?
no. Did I?
Did you think you gave it higher or lower than that?
I would have thought I'd given it higher.
Right. Okay.
No, what am I doing?
Yeah, mine's about what I thought. I thought maybe I'd given it a 7.5, but I don't know. Yeah, and so we both were like, it's a messy episode. Things don't, like, script stuff doesn't really work a lot of the time, but it's so much fun was, I think, the general vibe from you and I, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The lead up to this episode coming out was awesome. I remember, it's a rare time when I was completely blindsided by the surprises throughout the episode.
100%.
So we knew that Sophie and Janet were coming back.
Correct.
But I remember going into this episode and we had no idea whether we were going to see Shooty or David at the end. But then the big thing was we had no idea that those companions and doctors were going to rock up. I remember seeing, like, a year before or something, a photo of all the classic doctors, well, a few of those ones, together in a pub. And I remember there was a couple of murmurs at the time of all classic doctors being it. But they came up with a good cover story that they were filming for a documentary or something like that, and a few other, I don't know, and it happened so long before that when they rocked up in the special, I remember losing my mind. I had no idea. I was not expecting them when they rocked up. Were you surprised?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that Chibnall did so great with his era was able to keep a fucking secret and keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
Because that genuinely was, I think, such an incredible surprise and something that I genuinely was not expecting. I think also it was also interesting because we had the 60th coming up in the year after. So part of me was like, I don't know if they're going to do that here because they probably want to do it for the 60th or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I generally was, with the whole Guardians of the Edge scene, I was generally, like, flabbergasted. And not only that, for it to be done as well as it was, I think it's also, like, another thing. Yeah. So, yeah, the surprises in the episode, it's actually really great. I mean, with that and the whole, like, Jack reveal in Series 12, I think generally these are, like, two huge things that could so easily leak. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of shit in this episode that could have easily leaked.
So much.
Even with David at the end, I mean, I know people theorized that he would be in it, but there was so much of me that was like, I don't even know what's going to happen.
No.
And it's just full of surprises, generally.
It's insane, mate. Yeah, okay. So, general vibes, having rewatched it now, I think about the same. For me, I sort of break it up into, like, 3 parts, I want to say. The first 20 minutes, I am in. I love the stuff with the train at the start. The CGI, but beyond that, I think it's really fun. I think John Bishop's really funny at the start when he's so chuffed with himself and he's like, we're bringing you to a gentle stop.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I enjoyed the shake-up of having him decide to leave and also that being at the start of the episode. Like, I know some people probably it feels a little uneven to say goodbye to a character at the start, and I get that, but it worked for me, especially because he comes back at the end. And then the second part of this episode, I'm going to say, is the 20 to maybe 45, 50-minute part. I think it's so boring, where it's like all the plot stuff happens, and it's like spaceship, Daleks, the Master, just shit. Everyone's just yapping. Yep. And then part 3, the last, say, 40 minutes of this special, is so fucking good. It's, classic Doctor's there. Everyone's crying. I like the scenes with Yaz and the Doctor. Fuck it. It makes up for 20 minutes of bullshit.
Okay.
And that's what that middle 20 minutes is. It's not terrible. It's just bullshit the whole time.
Flux the movie?
It is Flux the movie. The movie.
The movie.
What do you think, buddy?
Okay, buddy.
Pal. Sweetheart.
Sugar. Babe. Honey. This is, without a doubt, and I don't care what anyone says, even you, Mr. Green, this is one of the funnest episodes of Doctor Who of all time.
That's amazing to hear.
Thank you. You're all too kind.
That's great.
I can't believe. I feel like I always regard this as a very fun episode, but I can't believe how much I slept on this episode being as great as it is.
Yeah, right.
Okay? Yes, it's not well written, but I don't give a fuck. I think this is genuinely probably one of my favorite episodes of all time. I love it.
Bruh.
Can you hear me, folks?
Bruh.
Can you hear me?
Did you say a Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker episode is
Do
your
you hear
favorite
me?
of all time?
Yep,
Or
I
one
said
of?
it. Is this thing on? Huh?
Hello.
I'm saying it.
Hello, it's kind of home.
I think it is one of the best episodes of Doctor Who of all time. Because tell me, all right, you know what? It has everything.
It does. It
genuinely-
literally fucking
it
has
literally,
everything.
It literally does have everything. And I think when it comes to all the elements, the drama, the comedy, the the action, the emotion, the ending, the beginning, the performances, the score, the directing.
Oh, Magnus is the GOAT.
It's his best episode he's ever directed, and it's fantastic. I think so. I love it. I think it's fucking fantastic.
He does some good ones.
I generally just it's like I know I keep saying it's a movie, but it's like a movie.
It is a movie.
It's I'm sorry, and I don't think I never thought I'd ever say this, but I think it's everything the 60th should have been. Like, it's fun. It's just fucking fun. But also it has an emotion, and the emotion works.
Yeah. But you obviously couldn't do this again for the 60th.
The vibe.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think, in my opinion, this is a better celebration of the show. I think it has everything that the show is in here. As a Regeneration episode, I think it's great.
Yeah.
There's just so many parts that work for me that I can kind of get past the fact that, like, you know, a volcano gets covered in metal and at the end of the episode and we just let it go.
Also, what were the Daleks doing?
I don't know.
They literally were just trying to set off the volcanoes.
Who knows?
I was so confused at the end because they turned the volcanoes into metal, but
That
they
is
just
so
leave the
strange.
Daleks.
It's just
They
so
don't do anything
strange.
to the
that
Daleks?
They like drop like metal, like melts the metal onto the volcano.
Yeah, but what are the Daleks doing?
they just get stuck inside
Oh, so the Earth is just full of Daleks under Journey's the center of the Earth, but Daleks.
until they emergency temporal shift back up into the ship.
Of course.
I like, apart from a few like little things like here and there, I think it has everything that, you know, Doctor Who can just be like this fun show, but also I think it has the impact of the emotions and everything that it needs. It's everything a Centenary should have been. It's so great. I loved it. I generally, I feel like I slept on how much I actually would enjoy it.
Yeah, right. I really appreciated Jodie in this episode. There was something, and she's not too far different from Series 11, and I don't mind Jodie off the bat. She like, I've always thought she was good. She's just not like an all-timer for me. But like this, I don't know. There's something about like watching her in this episode. I don't know. I just embrace her. It's like her last story, and I'm really there for her.
Yeah.
And same goes for Yaz. Like,
Yeah.
I think Mandip is given a decent amount to work with in this, and I really do feel for her. I would have appreciated if she'd made the decision to leave on her own. I feel like that would be a good character move. Just she's someone that's become so reliant on the Doctor the whole way through, and I feel like a good lesson for her as a character would be to have been the one to outgrow the Doctor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's great in it. What the fuck? What is there to say other than there's 20 minutes of techno jargon for a little bit? But
I get your jargon.
yeah. When they're in, like, they go to Naples, which I'm going to, by the way, soon, where the volcano things are. And I'm like, what are we doing in Naples?
Why they go into, there's an Indonesia thing as well.
Yeah, but that's because it was showing all the volcanoes.
The volcanoes,
and stuff.
yeah. I think I've seen that volcano. I think I've gone there.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah.
Big dogs up
Yeah,
there.
I think I've gone to one of them.
I don't know if they were going for like Krakatoa energy, because Krakatoa is the notorious Indonesian volcano that went
The
boom,
one that
boom.
always like erupts and stuff.
Well, no, it's not erupted that big in a hot minute, but I think in like the 1800s,
hot minute.
it went like, it went boom.
It go boom boom.
It went boom, boom. The volcano scare you?
Yeah, but also I think they're like, you know, how good is it to have something that you could just like, you know, I think we worry about getting rid of like rubbish and stuff. Imagine just throwing it in there and stuff.
That's true.
I think that's a good, like, you could just throw shit in there.
Yeah, we'll just make more volcanoes. That sounds great.
Does it? Well, it makes more like lava and stuff.
Yeah. I remember being
Volcanoes are scary for sure.
when I was in New Zealand, which is obviously literally fucking volcano land. I remember like,
Isn't that Hawaii?
well, it's in the Ring of Fire, New Zealand is. So it's like,
Johnny
New
Cash
Zealand
over here?
is a volcanic island, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
It's volcano. Day.
Jeremy, hit us up.
Yeah,
Give us the New Zealand law.
Give us the law. Yeah.
But when I was traveling around there, man, I was like, we'd be staying in places where there's big volcanoes, and you just walk outside your house and you're like, that's a big fucking volcano.
Yeah, and you worry it's going to erupt and stuff.
I remember like Taipo or Tapu, people pronounce it differently. Jeremy, hit us up. And it's like a fucking sunken volcano or something. So it's just like a big lake. And
Right.
the town's built around it. And we're on like little boats traveling.
That sounds like a bad place to set up a town.
Well, it does. It was getting quite active. And it has been for a little bit. It's obviously not like going boom, boom.
They go through like, don't they have like stages?
I think this fuck is active.
Right.
And apparently when it's going to go boom, it's going to be pretty bad. And we were on this like tour boat. And the homie was like, yeah, well, if it goes, we go with it. She was like, I'm not going to try to evacuate. I'll just cop. And she was like, it's pretty spooky though, because you look in the water and when the light in a certain way on some days, you can see stuff moving around down there. And I was like, what
do you mean? Like because of
what are you talking about?
because of like when a pan of water like starts to slowly boil, like something like that.
I don't know.
Like bubbles raising.
I
and
don't know,
stuff.
but volcanoes are spooky.
Dude, Earth is a cruel mistress. Hey,
It's fucked up.
Mother Nature. Just call me Brother Nature. That's how much I love the Earth. Thank you.
Speaking of loving giant planets, what did you think of the Cybermen plot with them making a giant planet to convert?
Who gives a fucking
What were
monkey's
they
left
doing?
nut about that shit?
What are they doing?
I don't know. It's made out of like what's Darkanium, but for Cybermen.
Cybanian.
Well, they're made of steel. Can't be steel,
just
surely.
metal.
Yeah, it's just metal. Yeah, that's so strange because they got this.
The child.
They take so you're right. By the way, that opening scene with the train is absolutely fantastic. It's so good. You're straight into the action. It works. It's great. The score's going. Jamie's killing it.
Bloke from Broadchurch.
Yep, exactly. Chib loves a good old reference. When it comes to the chart, I have no idea what's going on. I thought it was the Timeless Child when I first saw it.
So did I. I was like, shit.
I was like, oh shit, is that the Timeless Child? Turns out it's just some random.
It's because it's a
kid.
very similar piano riff that Sigon uses.
Thank you, Sigum.
Yeah, and I was like, you've misled me.
I'm like, we're straight into the Timeless Child in this episode. Wrong.
Wrong. We'll never get referenced again.
Nope. I don't even. It does get mentioned in the episode, does it?
Not in this episode.
You think the master would be like?
I remember that big fucking thing last time I saw you.
And how are you?
How you doing about that?
How are you doing about that? Yeah, it's like it's just like I'm gonna be Johnny Tight Lips on that. That's all I gotta say.
So Connor, we talked about the Daleks. We talked about the Cybermen. Let me know what you think of the third corner of this love triangle, the Master.
Well, I love Sacha Dhawan's Master, and I think
I
think he's just great.
You always laugh when we have to re-record a section
I'm
of the
sorry,
podcast.
I could never take it seriously.
We didn't start the camera, so
It's been a minute.
The next 10 seconds we've already said, but we're gonna repeat.
I think he's fantastic, Aiden.
Where does he rank in your Master rankings?
I think he might be third.
He's my third, but that's only because I love John and Michelle.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're back. Okay, we're caught up to what we'd previously discussed.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's really good. I really like him. I agree. Like, I definitely have like nostalgia for John Sim, and I think Missy being like the first, like even before Jodie was like the first female like incarnation, she was like the first big character to be a time lady.
Yeah, like worked as like, well, I mean, there is Romana before everyone.
There's Romana before the classic people come and kill me.
But it was another way of easing us into like the female doctor thing. Yeah,
so I think he's great, and I love that he's the one that kills her.
Yeah.
Look, is it a bit like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, the Masters in the series final of the Doctor again, and the Regeneration episode of the Doctor again.
It's like, happened a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. And the cause of death is because of him.
Yeah.
Your dad was an idiot. I love those.
Iconic. How's Aunt?
Yeah.
Your aunt?
Yeah.
Petunia.
Put her in a little dollhouse.
Aunt Vanessa. How's Auntie Vanessa?
Do you know what line I use quite a lot? A man's allowed to experiment.
Yeah, I know you do. You
Last
love
time
that.
I saw you were half cat.
That whole sequence
A
is
man's allowed
just
to experiment.
crazy. Just what they're
Dude,
saying to each other.
So good. I think he's such a great act. Like, he's so charismatic,
He
and
is.
I love him in that role. And I think he's so good. And look, apart from the fact that the master got brought back way too soon for my liking, I think what he does with the role is like seriously interesting. I feel like I would definitely have like respected it a lot more if it had been a while since the master had been in the show, because we'd had the master, Missy and 12's arc is so like important to that whole storyline.
Yeah.
So for it just to come in like quite quickly again, there's just a series break between. There's only one series between the master being in it, and
I just love to see him have a bit more like a character arc. I think it is just, and so when I rank him as my third, it's not necessarily a thing of his performance. It's more so like I feel like we just didn't get to see enough of him. We didn't get to test him and push him and break him. Whereas John Sim, even in 4 episodes before he came back in series 10, like I feel like we got that. We really got his master.
yeah,
And Michelle obviously is the most fleshed out master of them all. But then you go to Sasha and it's like, I think sometimes just the way he's written, he just falls into a little bit of like, tee. You know,
I agree. Well, that's the thing. It's like with the way Chibnall writes characters is like they're just paper thin. There's nothing really to it, and there's not really much to work off. And I get that. It does kind of come into like the master is crazy, and that's his character.
Yeah,
he's just crazy.
What do you think of his plot line in this episode? If you can figure out what it was,
He's fucking bonkers.
he's Rasputin, and he does the dance.
Rasputin. Oh, that's a fantastic scene. How can you not love that?
Rasputin.
And the way they said like the whole like Dalek and Cyberman looking at each other, which is just so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
That was like improvised on set. They were like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be funny if we did this? I love that.
Goated.
That scene is so funny. Why is he the Mona Lisa and the Scream?
That's
don't
the
know
thing.
that. And it
Chibnall
looks
just
so fucking bad as well.
He just throws everything into these scripts because it's so unnecessary that to get Unit's attention, he steals art. He starts painting himself onto paintings throughout history, and it's like a 2-second part of the plot.
It looks dog shit as well. I mean, I reckon I don't know how to use Photoshop. It looks like something I would like cook up.
Do it on Canva.
Yeah, Canva, that Canva's like my lifesaver.
When I'm too busy to do a thumbnail, yeah.
Yeah, Canva's my go. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so the
He's
master
the master
plot,
of disguise though, so I guess that does fit.
and it's great, and he hops back to some OG master stuff with the hypnotic things, which is quite cool.
Emoji? What'd you say?
Hypnotic, when he's hypnotizing.
Yeah.
He's like, I am the master, and you will obey me.
Mm-hmm.
He also makes a really tongue-in-cheek reference, the Dalek master plan,
I did
or
hear
the
that.
master's Dalek plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm at home like, aha.
I get it.
I understood that reference.
Got that one. This thing's full of references. Do you know what one of the really great references of this episode is? But it also works so well as a great transition. So when Yaz kicks Dr. Master out onto the planet and he's like, oh, she'll be back. And he whips out Two's flute and he starts playing it, which is really cute. And it's really sweet. Is he playing
Skyboat song.
the same song from Boom? Holy shit.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
But what I was going to say is I think it works as the most amazing transition into the classic Doctor bit. He's playing Two's flute. Two, who obviously isn't in.
And then
it goes straight to the Guardians of the Edge from there. And it's just like, it just works so well as like this
That's
cute little thing.
fantastic.
And
Okay, two great
you can
things.
even just hear the little ring of the note of his last note when it starts to pan down onto the Guardians of the Edge. And it's just, I don't know whether that was intentional, but it just works as a nice way of like, because you're like, oh, that's a reference to the second Doctor. Holy shit, all the Doctors are back.
All the Doctors are here. Yeah. I don't know. Part of me was like when I heard the Master play in a Skyboat song, I was like, I wonder if Stephen was watching the episode and thinking, I haven't heard that song in a while. That's a song from my childhood. And then maybe put it into Doctor Who. I don't know. That could be all bullshit, but
Who knows?
I noticed that and I was like, holy shit. I think now thinking about it, I think when Boom did come out, I think I did see someone post on Twitter like, fun fact, the song is actually used in Power of the Doctor.
There you go.
I guess we should talk about the Guardians of the Edge scene. I mean, it's so great. it's. I mean, what more can I say other than it's fantastic?
We talked about it a bit before when we were
It's
talking
just
about them
brilliant.
being back. I don't know what more.
It's just so brilliant.
The way they fade into each other is really cool. It looks really smooth.
I don't do robes.
Oh, it's great.
It's great to see, like, I think out of everyone, like, just even seeing, like, McGann, I think I was, like, most happy and excited, and I guess I shouldn't say surprised, because he's always wanted to come back. But it's like,
But he's still, like, quite a working actor these days, so...
For sure, yeah. No, for sure. And he's like a rarity of he kind of falls into the whole fugitive thing, where he's, like, he's like
a one and done.
Yeah, not really seen much, and whenever he is, so, he was in the movie, and he was in Night, and then he was in this. And Night's just a fucking YouTube prologue. So,
the
it's
YouTube vlog.
Yeah, so this is like an actual official episode. I think I was just most excited to see him. Seeing David Bradley return as well.
That was a great touch.
It's
like
fantastic.
when it tilts down, you can just see his hands, and you're like, oh
when you first saw it for the first time, you're just like, they fucking did it.
Yeah.
You madman. Like, you're like, you did it. Like, that shit's just the
And it's one of those things where, like, they show David Bradley first. You're like, oh, that's a great touch. He's playing the first Doctor. That's amazing. Great scene. Awesome they brought him back. Makes sense for the first Doctor to be there. Send off the Doc. And then it, like, transforms into Davison next, I want to say.
I think it's Colin and then Davison.
Might be Colin.
And then
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sil.
And it's like they bring Colin back and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then from then on, you're like, are they going to do it?
I'm like, they're doing it.
Yeah. And then it's like 7, 8,
you're like,
5. And you're like, holy fuck, they've gone and done it.
I was just, I was beside. I remember I was just watching it. I was just watching it in the morning. I woke up like super early. I was just so, I'm just having an absolute blast.
Yeah.
And an absolute blast.
I think as well, it's just one of those things that we have wanted since day one of being Doctor Who fans. We've always wanted them to somehow do an episode with the classic Doctors in the new series. Like when it announced that they weren't in the 50th, we were all disappointed. We got the 5-ish Doctors, which was great, but obviously not a lore-based story. And since then it's been like, oh, will we ever get it? And then Chibbers fucking does it. He goes and does it and does it so well.
That's the thing. I think it's easy enough to be like, they're back, but, it's also how the scenes are handled. And I genuinely do mean this. Like, the Guardians of the Edge scene and the scene with the 5th Doctor and Tegan and the 7 with Ace.
Yeah.
I think all 3 of those scenes are... I have next to, like, no notes. I think they're just great. I really, really do. And I think it's so rare. You know how much I love to complain about Doctor Who. I think it's just so rare to be that impressed with it. I mean, I love it. It's so special.
Yeah.
And it works so well. It doesn't feel cheap or tacked on or cringy. It just works.
So let's talk about those really great character scenes. Let's
Fire
go
away.
in chronological order. We'll go with Davison and Janet first. Which, when that happened, it was the same thing. Where I think I cried the first time I watched it. When she's like, what are you thinking right now? What do you think I'm thinking right now? Adric.
It's so funny. When I first watched that, I said like Adric at the same time, and I was like, fuck me. Come on.
So good. And like the hologram stops glitching right as he says he's like goodbye to her or something like that. It's
Braveheart.
Braveheart Tegan, that's it.
Yeah, and I love how they hash it out, and and Davison delivers it so well. That Sylvester and Davison are so fucking great in those scenes, and like I love them, and they're so great. But with Davison in this scene, like when he when he says like, you think you'd leave and I forget about you, I remember all of you. It's so great. It's so beautiful.
And this AI glitchy invention is such a great way to explain, to get these older versions of the Doctors to have those closure moments, because it's hard to explain it with the lore of like the Doctor degenerating or some shit. But this was like a great way of being like, no, this is the Doctor's brain, but it's not necessarily them physically, but it's their brain.
It's so funny, like when Tegan's like, you kind of look like you used to, but a bit older, and he's like, I could say the same about you. Yeah, it's so funny.
Cheeky bugger.
Yeah.
What about Sylv and Soph?
Beautiful. That is fantastic, and it's funny because like Sil even said in our interview that like, you know, when he read the script, it was like, Fallout, what happened here?
Yeah,
Like,
what do we do? What did I miss?
and I had the same thing as well, and I was like, "What the fuck?" But I think it's beautiful, and even because we just watched Silver Nemesis, and like, you know, Ace does try to figure out, you know, more about the Doctor in that episode, and I think that plays off really well here from what I've seen, where it's like she even says like, "I didn't know the extent of the burden that you carried," and you know, a lot of the time where I'm like, a big criticism for me with Chibnall is like, I always thought that like he was too much of a fanboy, and it was just wasn't working for me. But somehow in like these scenes, I'm like, I can tell you're just such a fan that really cares about these scenes and how they're written.
Yeah.
He almost would have been like a fantastic classic Doctor Who writer.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic. It's so good. I feel like I'm just saying great, good, and fantastic.
Well, that's what we're here for, mate.
Which is so bad to be a reviewer, because you're just saying the same shit every 5 seconds. But
well, they make amends, and Ace
Nitro
keeps wandering through the caves, and she bumps into a certain Graham O'Brien, and I really love the idea that maybe somewhere out there, Graham and Ace are a partner in crime duo, codename Grace.
fantastic.
Like Graham's deceased wife.
Deceased wife.
It's just perfect. Like I wonder if it was always
That's
the plan
so true.
for Graham to be in this as much, or whether or not they brought him in because John Bishop wasn't there. Like maybe that was John's role. But however it came about, I love that. I love them together. I think they work so well together. You get to see Ace do the old baseball bat on a Dalek thing. You know, how good's that shot when she pulls it out and the dolly's it on her, and she's like, wicked.
Dude, and when she's like, I'm Ace, and he's like, yes, you are. Yeah, dude, it's so good.
So good.
Good. Nah, it actually is fun to see him again, and again, it's like there's so many like great little treats in this episode where like when he rocked up, I was like, of course, like I kind of forgot it. I was like, because there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so many cool cameos, and you're like, of course, like it's great.
Well, there's so much shit to talk about. Like we've sort of jumped to all the crazy stuff, but so earlier on, we also get Vinder appear, who does nothing.
Does absolutely nothing.
Just rocks up to be there, and fuck it, nice to see him.
Yeah, it's great to see him, but I agree. I think he's definitely one of the characters who has like next to nothing to do.
Yeah, he gets like one little bit where he travels with Yaz for a little bit.
And no bell.
No bell.
The mention to the family.
Yes, Joey says, how's your family? And then moves on very quickly.
Yeah. See ya.
But also earlier in the episode, where Ace and Tegan are first brought into Unit HQ, there's a great scene with the 13th Doctor meeting them, and that's a beautiful little moment. And Yaz being a bit taken aback, and I think that's a great character moment for her.
We used to be you.
Yeah. And that's again why I think Yaz should have left the Doctor.
Right.
Because it's like she sees that, and that's a great thing for her to be like, the Doctor will just keep moving on.
Yeah.
Like, I need to move on.
It's quite a school reunion, like, you know,
is.
when Rose finds out about Sarah Jane and stuff.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have that whole conversation.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that scene is also very great. And it's so funny as well when, like, Tegan's like, at the end, it's like, I think I have that quite well.
Yeah.
It's like, brilliant scene.
I think that
it's really well done.
I think Janet's maybe slightly rusty early on, particularly the scene on the phone.
But did she quit acting though?
Yeah,
Isn't
she's an
like,
agent now. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's fair enough. It's just cool that she's doing it. And there's a great shot when the Cybermen start to invade, right? And so the Ashad toy becomes
it's like the Chinese
Genesis
style,
arc.
Yeah.
It's like the Genesis arc in a way.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, the Cybermen start storming out. It's like doo, and like Tegan and Ace like sprinting up the stairs. There's this cool shot, and all the Cybermen are shooting and shit. And like Ace like opens up the floor where there's randomly guns with golden bullets in them.
And the bat and the jacket, the classic
it's all
Ace
there.
jacket. Yeah.
She all knew
and
it was
a parachute.
there. That's insane that shit was there.
Yep.
And so what did you think of the whole sort of unit with Kate there and the Cybermen invading unit?
It's great to see Kate. Dude, the Cyberman invading unit, it's super fun.
Yeah.
It's like a great idea. I'm so here for it. I think the Daleks did pretty much nothing, but the Cybermen I'm here for. I get it. It's what I complain about all the time, where it's like they're just thrown in. But I think the Cybermen definitely did pose like a threat. It's like a small close quarters with the Cybermen running. It's like it gave me
punching the walls and grabbing them out of the shafts.
Yeah, it gave me like series 2 like Tortured Torchwood like HQ vibes.
Yeah, sure.
Where, like it's like in an office building, the Cybermen are like running around and crane shit and stuff and
crazy.
all that jazz.
There's a spooky bit where like Kate's being like tortured in the chair and stuff. That stuff's full on.
Yeah, the whole conversion thing, it's dark and it's scary. I mean, that's what the Cybermen should be. It's scary like that.
And the body horror of Ashad really helps that, I think.
Oh, it's fantastic. I don't know how he's still there. It's funny how
he cloned him, is what he said.
That's it.
It's so like exposition. He's like, oh, good thing I cloned you. Like just a random line.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but
whatever.
It's just another person to like throw in, I guess. But
yeah, whatever.
I bet Jack was meant to be in it.
Maybe there's a world where Jack
if all didn't go to shit, I reckon Jack would have been in it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so they blow up Unit Tower after they just signed the lease.
Thank God, because 60th specials, they needed the Avengers Tower.
Exactly. So. Ace jumps off with the parachute, lands in the tower. This is very River Song in Day of the Moon. That's a great shot. Is a cool shot, yeah.
It is very Day of the Moon, yeah.
Yeah, and so then we start getting everyone reunited as the Unit Tower blows up. Tegan and Kate watch on and the TARDIS materializes on the floor. And Tegan's like, she says something and then she's like, and yes, I would like to come inside. Thank you very much.
I love that.
And storms in.
Is this the first time Kate's ever been in the TARDIS?
I think so, yeah.
That's really cool.
That is really cool. And it's good that they remembered that and actually gave her a line where she was like,
yes.
I think even she was like, how is it bigger on the inside?
That's right. Yeah. Surely she knew that.
No, I
she's
think
just
she knew,
questioning,
but I think
how does it work if you see it for the first time for yourself? You're like, how does it work?
I think it is just one of those things where she knew it, but she went and she's like, oh, fuck.
How does a Cyberman open up to hide and have all these other Cybermen hiding into it?
Don't worry about that.
How's that happen?
Don't worry about that one. Yeah, okay. So then the Doctor does some shit. They bring the planet to present day because it's in 1916 or something.
What about Fugitive?
The Fugitive Doctor appeared. Fuck, there's so much in this episode. I'm trying to hold on to the fact that we didn't actually talk about Dan's goodbye scene. That we need to get back to that at some point.
From the start?
Yeah.
Right.
So there's the whole cloning. There's the what do you think of the whole body swap thing?
What with the whole the hologram thing?
No, the body swap, the Doctor to the Master.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but it's like it happens and then it just gets turned back.
Yeah. Nothing happens.
I'm not sat here going like, wow, Jodie's regeneration happened 20, 30 minutes into the episode. Okay, we've got an hour left. I guess David 10 might be popping up soon.
Sometime soon. Someone put that it would be a funner story if it was a full body swap where the Master is in the Doctor's body and the Doctor's fully in the Master's body. And so she's trying to stop who everyone thinks is the Doctor. Whilst the Doctor's going off causing chaos.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
That would have been cool.
We didn't get it.
Doctor, why are you acting so weird? What do you mean?
It'd give Spider-Man 3 energy. Yeah. Like Sasha walking around. Well, it'd be Jodie walking around like being all Sashery.
Yeah, exactly.
Be cool. And so Fugitive rocked up towards the end of that with a cameo on. The whole time she was on screen, I was like, why the fuck is she here? Like, whose hologram is she for? And then they just say she was a hologram just to trick the Master.
Well, wasn't she for Yaz? Because she does it. She touches Ace and Tegan. I'm sure she touched Yaz.
No, but then wouldn't she just be 13 if it was for Yaz?
Oh, because
Yaz even says, last time I saw you, you were a tour guide in Gloucester.
Yeah, I did think of that. So does Yaz not know about the Fugitive Doctor?
I think she knows about it. I just think she'd never met her. Never seen her.
Okay.
So, but yeah, there's like a throwaway line where it's like, oh, we did the hologram as Joe Martin to trick the Master.
It worked for me.
It worked for me. It was cool to see her.
It tricked me.
She's doing all the karate and shit.
Yeah. Hey-ya! And if you want to see more, Big Finish is your
You can hear it on Big
friend.
Finish.
Yeah, exactly.
Which.
I think...
Hi-ya! Which.
Well, where do you think the third Doctor got all the karate moves from?
Well, yeah, from Yaz. From Yaz.
Yaz.
From Joe. From The Fugitive.
I do wish that a thing that I wished happened was I generally think if someone had died, it would have added some really cool emotion.
Yeah, but they're never going to kill these legacy characters, mate.
Why not?
Because they fucking won't.
Why not just... No, but...
It's Dr. Bloody Who.
Look.
It's not fucking Star Wars The Last Jedi.
From? I'm Dr. Bloody Who.
It's from Staged.
Staged, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Well, no, because, if, say Tegan died, okay?
Tegan was never going to die.
That's why I said say.
I don't want her to die. I don't want to think about this.
Say Tegan died. She could still be in the memory TARDIS.
Yeah, but... Nah.
Okay.
I don't want to kill these characters.
Great.
If you got to kill them in the main run. Unless you're like...
The main run? In that?
Like when they've got they're in the TARDIS for 2 seasons or whatever. Like at the end of that. I wouldn't mind if it was like they brought Martha back as like a recurring character for 4 seasons and then she dies or something like that.
You dare.
Well, same for any character. My point is if they, because we always talk about Martha coming back is what I'm saying, but if they brought back Sophie, it's too old. I don't want to kill the oldies.
I'm just saying, like, the episode, I guess, I didn't really feel like anyone was ever going to die. Like, the stakes aren't really, like, when Kate...
Well, Jodie died.
I guess.
She copped it.
Yeah. Well, technically, regeneration isn't a way of cheating. It's a way of cheating death. So
shut up.
But it feels like dying. Shut up, 10th Doctor. Get over yourself. Fucking self-loving twat.
So they fucking save the day and all that shit happens. And then...
Hashtag save the day.
13 gets yeeted by alien child thing that was actually disguised. Oh, there's side masters. Forgot to talk about them. They're all black. It's pretty cool.
Are they?
Yeah. And then Yaz. There's a great piece of score as well from Sagan there where it's like as Yaz is carrying the dog. It's cool. I like it.
I definitely noticed that.
They go into the TARDIS. There's a great shot. I love...
Wait a minute. Did you just skip the fact the Doctor just got shot by a laser?
I said she got yeeted by a child alien thing.
That's what... I don't think it's a child anymore. It's more just like a big ball of
disguised as an alien.
Timey-wimey stuff.
But what I was going to say is, even though it's kind of super cringe, but it's so this era, and it kind of pays off the shittest ongoing trope of this era. When Jodie opens her eyes and she looks around at everyone and she goes, Extended fam. I loved it. I was like, that's so perfect for what this is.
You couldn't just leave it, could you?
Nah.
I did love that line from the Master. It's like, if I can't be the Doctor,
neither can you.
Here's the thing, right? The Master gets left there, regenerates into Missy.
Question mark in his ha-ha-ha TARDIS.
Very nice. I would love eventually when the Master comes back, 'cause let's face it, the Master will come back eventually.
That's someday.
To be like, there'll be a line like, and there I was, lying there.
And then I regenerated.
And then I regenerated.
Yeah.
As you ran off.
He just recaps his entire character arc.
Yeah.
I was once a prime minister. Someone's former prime minister.
There I sat. Someone's former prime minister.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get into all this emotional ending stuff, let's touch on the first emotional goodbye. Dan Lewis. They teleport back to Liverpool. Materialize.
Land the TARDIS. Teleport. And like a beam me up Scotty type shit.
He's like, fuck, I've got no house. Doc's like, I don't give a fuck.
Guess I'm kipping on my parents' couch tonight.
And then you get a great scene between Liverpool and Sheffield.
I kind of disagree. I think Dan should have been in the episode. I think what happened was COVID was starting to chill out a little bit.
Oh, he had to go on tour.
And he had to go on tour.
His time was done, yeah.
And look, I get it. Like, he wants to leave the TARDIS because he's tired of risking his life, and also he wants to...
And horny.
Sleepy and horny. You know? Yeah, exactly.
He wants to die.
You know? Exactly. You know? And he wants to go out with Diane.
Yeah.
I'm very glad he comes back at the end, but it was quite abrupt, I think, for me. I know you said you liked it, but I just really liked him, and I knew it was going to be his last episode, so it was like, I guess I wanted to see him more. I did just assume at the time, I was like, oh, you know, John Bishop's a traveling man, and was probably just... You know, like I said, like COVID was probably starting to, you know, clear up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. His tour resumed.
And venues were opening again, and you know, you just had to sit in a big glass box.
Just cop it.
Those were the days.
Just cop it.
Sorry for... To be fair, seeing John Bishop and Bradley Walsh together on screen on screen is like it's two British comedians together.
Yeah, iconic.
The two Ronnies,
and like they're very similar characters as well. So seeing them like.
Oh, you did it.
Like, oh, what's it on the map?
You've been holding it upside down.
Yeah. But before that, we got the scene with the Doctor and Yaz.
They pop to Ben and Jerry's.
They pop to Ben and Jerry's. They get an ice cream. But before that,
Oh my god.
the Doctor's hand's all regenerating.
No, not yet.
I don't want to go.
It's too. It can't happen.
I love how intimate Jamie got with the camera there. He got real up close, and I really like that.
Keep panning in.
Zoom closer,
in,
closer,
in,
closer.
And cut.
Ben and Jerry's.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think of like the Doctor and Yaz's goodbye in general?
I don't hate it. I don't love it. I've never really loved this duo anyway. So part of me was glad to see it end. And don't let the door slap your ass on the way out, as they say, or is it hit?
This guy.
I kind of messed it up. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I get for being a dick.
Now you sound like a dirty dog.
Sorry, I wasn't intending to for once. I think it's good. I agree with you. You know, I think Yaz should have come to that, decision. It looks beautiful. Again, proof that like people the show only started looking good when it was on Disney. Not true.
Ah.
I know you shat on the train CG, but I think the episode looks stunning, and that shot when they're sat on the TARDIS, like listen style.
That's good. Well, it's good that it's listen style, but without the light bulb being on the asshole.
Pete's bum. Yeah, exactly. That is so funny. It looks brilliant, and I could have bet money there would have been at least like a little kiss, but it is what it is. And then that final like goodbye,
The nod.
Yeah,
Looks beautiful.
and I do like how the Doctor said, I think I should do this last bit on my own. I like it.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
Yeah. I like it.
Here's to Jodie Whittaker.
So then, we talked about some great scenes in this episode. We talked about the companions coming back, Sophie and Janet. Talked about classic Doctors, Dan's goodbye. But my favorite scene, and what is my all-time favorite regeneration scene, is the cross-cutting between Jodie regenerating and the companion support group. The companion support group, all the score cuts out, and it's like, just before that, they're like, "Didn't you get an invite?" And then it cuts to Graham, and he's like, "Hi, I'm here because I've had these adventures, but I've got no one to talk to, and if I did, everyone would think I'm crazy." And everyone laughs, and you hear the laughs, and you start to go. I think I remember being like, "Was that Joe Grant?" I remember hearing her laugh, and then it cuts to Dan. And then it cuts wide, and you're like, oh my God, there's people, but you can't quite see who it is yet because it's wide. And then it just starts cutting around to
Bonnie
people
Langford.
laughing. Bonnie Langford. And when Ian Chesterton said his line, this was on my rewatch, the time that I got tingly and my eyes went all watery, and I was like, oh, it's so beautiful.
He would have been like 97 then?
Yeah, I think it was 98.
He looks incredible for someone who's 98.
He's good, mate. He's
like
fire.
generally. Yeah, that scene is there's a lot of very special scenes in the episode, and it is a special, it's a centenary special.
It's a special, that's for sure. Of course, they got the iPad with Ryan in Colombia or wherever he was.
Yeah, Ryan does get mentioned for being away. Yeah, I would have loved to have panned to the iPad and seen Ryan or Martha Jones or someone like that. Yeah, it's really cool, and you can see where Kate gets her recruits from.
Yeah.
There's even that line before it's like I got two freelancers. It's like that does kind of set up the whole like Bonnie Langford thing.
Well, then she even jokes in
series 60th and series 1
in the support group. She's even like, and I may be recruiting some of you.
Yeah, everyone laughs. She's like, I'm not. Why is everyone laughing? I'm not joking.
She's like, I need some more elderly people to balance out the children that I've hired.
Why are you laughing again?
Yeah, it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. It's true.
Come risk your lives.
Do you know how many people? Do you know how much my staff I just lost to Cybermen? They're like all gone, and my building blew up. So probably killed a lot of them as
so
well.
you're not getting paid.
Yeah, basically is what I'm trying to say.
But then we're cross-cutting this beautiful scene with a great scene of the Doctor saying, I'll take him one last sunrise. He walks out.
Blossomiest blossom.
The score's swelling. Tag, you're it is such a, we say a million times. It's a great final line for a Doctor. And then
fade to black.
Fade to black. There was never a 14th Doctor appearance.
And then we haven't had an episode since.
That's right.
It's what I wish I could say.
That was the end of Doctor Who 2005 to 2022. But and then there's also a great little line in there where it's like, "Are you okay? Is she okay?
I think that line's
She'll
cringe.
always be okay."
I think that's
it is, but that's what this era is.
She's the Doctor.
And it works for me. I don't give a fuck.
They treat the Doctor like there's this fucking flawless, like, God. It's like, they ain't flawless at all.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I'm being sour. Let's not be sour, Connor, at the last minute.
That's it.
Right?
I love it. I couldn't fault it. I think it's amazing.
And then change from one goat director to another.
Oh, Rachel Talalay comes in to direct a scene.
Yep.
When 14 rocks up. What did you think of 14's massive reveal?
I mean, what an absolutely incredible end to an incredible episode.
What?
Oh, well, yeah, what?
What?
The teeth.
We all
It's
knew
it's
that was exactly what was going to happen.
Fantastic callback. Dude, spirits were in the sky. I'd never been more excited. They dropped that like 10-second 60th trailer. I'm doing the worm so much that the earth is shaking.
It's crazy. I love the grade at the end though when David rocks up. It looks really nice. That yellowy hue.
They do, considering the scenes were shot, what, a year?
Yeah, they match up really nicely.
They match up incredibly.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah, Jamie's the guy. It looks stunning. It's great. It's a really good final regeneration scene. I think regenerations in New Who so far have been all handled very well, and yeah, like I said, it's just a great end to a great episode in my opinion. Is what I've got to say about that.
Super fun. What would you give it out of 10 though?
This is gonna get from me the power of the Doctor. Everyone, get ready to fall off your chairs. I'm going from a 7.5, which I'm shocked and sad to say that I gave it, to a 9 out of 10.
What the fuck?
It's so good. This is what Doctor Who should be. Fun, babe. This is what the 60th should have been. Just fun. Good shit. Celebrate the show. Dramatic shit works.
Well, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm sticking with a 7.
Get the fuck out of here.
Because 9
What are you, nuts?
9 for me is reserved for like an actual good story.
So you gave, I know you always say classic Who's different, but you gave 9 to Happiness Patrol. So
Happiness Patrol has more substance than this does.
oh please,
I
7's so shit, bro. You were just gassing it up the whole time.
yeah, it's super fun.
You were just talking about how good Yaz's last line was.
You know what? Fuck, I'll give it a 7.5. All right.
Oh, you're so generous.
I'll up it to a 7.5.
There's no shot. You definitely like
0.5 for fun. No, because when I hit an 8, it's got to be a good script. You know.
Are you going to do our final rankings?
Yeah, I will. So we'll be back after these messages. And we're back. Hi, welcome back to the 50% Doctor Who podcast. This is the moment where I've combined all of... Oh, I've made a mess of my spreadsheet. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
We're back, don't worry. And we're back. This is the moment where we calculate our scores of the 2022 specials to figure out what our mean score is, to see what our average score is.
Okay.
So, Connor, you gave Eve of the Daleks a 7.5, Legend of the Sea Devils a 3, Power of the Doctor a 9. What do you think your final series score is?
Well, that's hard because it goes from so high to so low and then just like a middle score. I'm going to say 7.2.
Incorrect. 6.5.
Bruh.
What do you think mine's going to be?
5.7.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I gave Eve of the Daleks a 7.5, Legend of the Sea Devils a 3, and The Power of the Doctor a 7.5, with a final series score of 6. Just 6.
Oh, shit. On the dot?
On the dot.
On the dot. Okay.
On the dot. But yeah, I like these specials. They're fun. Legends of the Sea Devils can suck my nuts, but other than that, the other two are fun.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's sad. We're at the end of the rewatches.
Yeah, let us know what other episodes you'd like us to re-review.
Rose.
We'll be doing Rose. Don't you worry.
Yeah, Rose would be a hoot.
Yeah. But that's us, mate.
I love how I was like, quick in and out job for today. It's like
an hour and 15 minutes later, yeah.
Oh, 15.
Well, an hour and 10,
We were
technically.
close.
No, it is an hour and 10.
Yeah. Some people say I'm always right.
Oh, you just read the timer on the Rodecaster and did some math.
I don't have producer in my bio for no reason, Aiden. It's a reason why it's there.
Next week,
What are we doing next week?
the greatest show of the galaxy,
The Greatest Showman?
Doctor Who.
Wow. Wait, is that what the episode's
That's
called?
the episode's called.
Okay, right.
The final serial of season 25.
The four-parter?
4-parters.
All right.
Greatest show of the galaxy. We'll be
Sounds
there to
quite
review
fun.
it.
Quite ominous.
I watched part 1 this morning.
Nice, I did not.
Yeah, I've not watched this one before, so it'll be fun.
Nice, okay. Well, we'll see you then.
That's
And
it.
Until then, my name is Connor.
My name's Aiden.
And you've been the best. It's Aiden. And are you okay? Do you have to say something?
No, I was just going to let you sing it on your own.
And
Because you always sing the beat so
Podcast.
crazy that I can't do it.
I didn't do it this week.
This is your solo.
They're doing, or we're doing, it's there or where. We always get it wrong. Doing Doctor Who reviews on a Thursday. Doctor Who reviews. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
You went very shy.
I actually am a very shy person, believe it or not. I know people probably don't. Whenever I tell people that, they're like, what?
Because on the podcast, you're like, yep.
Well, maybe I do a good impression of
I'm
an
right, you're
extrovert.
wrong. Yep.
I thought the episode was 9 out of 10. You're welcome,
I'll
folks.
bleep this out. I'll bleep this out. But do you remember when you said gave it like a 9 out of 10 and you went, what is he on?
I probably
What is
did
he
say
on?
that.
What is that man on?
Well, now I owe him an apology.
You do.
I owe him an apology.
You do.
I probably did say that though.